final goodbye for 11-year-old Guevara, yet another young victim in this old conflict. He was one of a dozen children and teenagers killed playing football this weekend by a rocket blamed on Hezbollah, though it's denied responsibility. This small Arab Druze community in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights is struggling to process its grief as Israel weighs up its response. The Israeli army has been carrying out airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon, but the region is braced for far harsher action. The Prime Minister was heckled as he visited the Golan Heights today, but promised there would be vengeance.
The
state of Israel will not and cannot ignore this. Our response will come, and it will be severe.
Israel and Hezbollah have traded thousands of strikes since October, but they've been largely confined to the areas around the de facto border. Around 90,000 people in southern Lebanon and 60,000 in northern Israel have been forced from their homes by the violence. And in Israel, officials have in recent months repeatedly said they're considering using military might to try and push Hezbollah forces back behind the Litani River. Could this latest deadly incident in the occupied Golan Heights be the trigger for an all-out war?
I understand that the decision was that we are not going to a full-scale war and that we are going to a kind of restrained response, but it has to be different. You understand? It has to be different and more powerful.
There have been daily exchanges of fire since Hezbollah began striking Israel in support, it says, of Palestinians in Gaza. But a full-scale war would be far, far deadlier. Hezbollah is better armed than some conventional armies. Its missiles can reach deep into Israeli territory. It says it will stop fighting if and when there's a ceasefire in Gaza. For now, there's no sign of that. And in Gaza, the suffering continues. These badly injured and sick children had been hoping they'd be allowed out of the territory for treatment. 5 of our family were killed in an Israeli strike, says Musallam. My daughter Sham was injured, her arm amputated. That was 4 months ago. There's no medicine here, nothing. When we heard she could leave, we held a party. Instead, Israel is reported to have cancelled the evacuations following the Hezbollah strike. Yet more pain in a region at a dangerous moment.